Speaking of directors, you've worked 3 times with Wes Anderson. And I'm curious to know, since it was a Wes Anderson film that you won the Oscar for this year, what your collaboration is like. If Wes Anderson is different from other directors that you've worked with, and why is it that you two work together so well?
He is different. He's very different. I keep saying that Wes is, he invented Wes's world, and there's nothing like Wes's movies. And I've been lucky to work on these 3 movies, Mr. Fox, which was also nominated for Best Score, Moonrise Kingdom and Grand Budapest, who have quite a lineage. They have a heritage. They really belong to the same, I think, to the same world, because they are worlds of a world of imagination where childhood is very present, strongly present, where reality is not, how could I say it, where reality is always twisted by imagination. It's like if there was a point of view, you can see reality, but actually we don't want to really see it. It's always turned into something where imagination takes the hand. And in his movies, especially Grand Budapest, I think he summarized many of his previous films and topics. And I think that's why this movie was so much loved, because I think it's so far the best film he has ever done.
This year marked your 7th and 8th Academy Award nominations, and you finally won for Grand Budapest Hotel. Why do you think that was the one that you won for?
It is a movie where the music can be heard. It's quite an important part of the action, of the energy of the film. It was a rather strange, if not quirky, weird, agitated score. And I guess all these elements make the audience and the voters notice the music. Maybe in the past the scores that I had written were not as present or audible.
Certainly the sound was unique and, at the very least, unusual. Can you talk about what we're hearing most of the time in the Grand Budapest score?
Well, it came from the very beginning of our first conversations with Wes. He sent me an email, do you wish to have fun with balalaikas and alpenhorns and zithers? And I said, yeah, let's have fun with that. Maybe that's also the other element, is the different sound that was offered to the audience, which is not just a classical orchestra or an electronic setup or just a guitar with strings. It was really a weird ensemble. This one was really strange.
But fun, too.
Oh, of course. And that's another thing that was surprising me, because I can't remember of many films that were light or that were a comedy that would have won for Best Score.
You conduct all of your scores. Not everyone does that anymore, especially in Hollywood. Many times composers remain in the booth. Why do you like to conduct your own scores?
First, I guess it was, when I started, it was the fascination of the film composers like Maurice Jarre, Georges Delerue, Michel Legrand, and of course all the American, which I would see the photos on the back of vinyls. So I just thought that very early on I should learn and conduct myself. And then I realized how important it was for me to be directly near the musicians, to give them my indications for interpretation, for intonation, whatever it was, phrasing. I thought I was the only one to actually know what the director wanted. Once or twice, for various reasons, I had to use somebody, and it was very painful, because I was in the booth trying to give my notes to the conductor, who would then give my notes to the orchestra, and this process was just wrong. It just, I don't know, I didn't like it. So I as difficult and tiring and heavy that it can be to face a sea of 100 musicians, it is very exciting, And I love being with them. And I love musicians so much. I love being with them and share, the difficulty with them, not just being in a chair in the booth. I'm glad to be with them sweating.